It's about this lamp. There are two lamps, a big one and a smaller one. The smaller one still works with the lower knob. The upper one doesn't totally light up. I measured the lamp. It's 0 ohms, so this is okay. I then removed 3 screws from the backside. And I removed this fuse, which is okay. Put it there. What I see is this inside. I see a few screws, and I first gonna, start with some screws. I removed these 2 screws, put them in box 4. Doesn't change anything, so I put off the knobs from the front side and put them in there, box 5. This is what we finally see. It hangs loose on the cables. I don't think removing these 2 screws will do anything. It will only, the metal part will shift up or shift down the rails, the pipes. I will remove this screw, put them in 6, because it's keeping things in the way while working on it. Pry the case on these 2 locations and on the other side, but still it does not come loose. It's still stuck on the top somewhere. It's fixed to the rest. So first I will remove these 2 screws, put them in box 7. Now the 2 parts can be separated. Press on the 2 blue axes and the PCB will come out. And this is what we will see. This brown wire is coming from below, from the mains. It goes into the right connection. The blue wire comes in from below, from the mains. It's connected here and goes to the blue wire to the upper lamp. And it also goes with the white separate wire into the lower lamp. The return wire of the upper lamp, you hardly can see, goes to the left connection, and the return wire is a black one from the lower lamp, goes to the middle connection. Here we have a fuse that will broke if the temperature is getting above 150 degrees Celsius. So first we measure this fuse. This fuse, as expected, is okay, because there is only one fuse. If there was one for both lamps, one of them should be damaged, but they are for both lamps. There's something else is wrong controlling the lower lamp. Below the fuse there is some transformer. I only see, maybe it's a transistor or a FET, I don't know, but I see one diode here and another diode here. Maybe one for the one and the other for the other channel. We will measure them. These 2 diodes are not normal diodes, but are called gun diodes. I measured both on both sides in the diode position, but they don't measure any resistance. But I see here this transistor or whatever it is, and I see here another one. This is placed on cooling iron system. So maybe this is for the upper lamp and this is for the lower lamp. This has less power, does not need any heatsink. So I try to measure this electronic device. I only measure 0.4 volts between the 2 outers. Doesn't make out if one is the plus or what is the minus. For the rest, it does not measure any resistance on any voltage. Don't think that the transistor or whatever is fixed with a screw, but it's a rivet, so I have to saw it. I managed to get lost of the rivet using my Dremel. Just getting it away this way. First I'm gonna remove this PCB. I colored it black, a little black on the wire, so notice the middle is the real black wire and this is the uncolored. This is coming from the upper lamp, the high power lamp, and this is one from the lower lamp. I read the text on this device. It's a hvw202502241428. Should that be 600S? It's a Tryout. This is the datasheet of it. And I asked ChatGPT how to test it with a multimeter. It comes with a few tests. Basic test: take your multimeter in diode position, check between M21 and M22, that is A1 and A2. Higher resistance, that's okay. Step 3, between gate and M21. The red probe on the gate, the black there, and it measures 0.0 volt, otherwise nothing. And step 4, it should be the same between the gate and MT2. The gate and MT2, between the gate and M2A2, it's the same, but I do not measure anything. I just measure 0.4 voltage between gate and A1 and the other way around. So I'm 99.9% convinced that this component is defective. I have a few of these component testers. I do not know if they are trustable. I soldered some wires to the I think the defective transistor or triac or whatever it was, and it says it's HFI of 17.5. Let's test it again. Well, 70.5 is very, very low, 70.2. So I think this thing is defective. Let's now try to test the replacement. Today I received it. I ordered it from Farnell. I didn't order 10 of them because they are priced 50 cents or so, but transaction costs are much higher, the transportation costs. Didn't test it before, so I just pressed the start button and let's look what is. It's a Tryout. UF is 0.84 volt. I don't know what is UF, but if I do it again, it will come with the same results. I must be honest, I'm not 100% sure of what I'm doing, but I think I will replace this one and switch it on for a short time to see if it works. Before applying it, I mounted it to the heatsink to be sure. I then soldered it into its new position. I'm used to stop inhaling my breath when soldering, but sometimes I like the smell of it. Just like I think those guys who are smoking cigarettes like to inhale that smoke. Maybe that is not too healthy, but life is too short to trouble about these things, I think. But I do not want to construct it all together if it fails, so I use a little tape that is safe, that is not making contact to anything else or whatever, and we have to try it very carefully. As the power is switched on, I will try on the low lamp. This one, it doesn't do anything because I didn't switch it on. Again, switch it on. Carefully, the low lamp doesn't do anything. What the fuck? Let me try the upper lamp. Carefully. Nothing is happening. Something else must be wrong. I then tested the continuity. One pole of the mains goes to the right of the 3 connections. The other side of the mains goes to the left. And the middle has some resistance. So mains is arriving on the PCB. Well, I then did a retry, switching it on, and suddenly my whole apartment was in the dark, and I smelled something terrible, like some electronics has died. So what's the cause of it? more or less I think I got the cause, because this side is connected to the iron pipe and it didn't work because, very simply, the fuse is not placed. How stupid can a man be? What I do not understand, that I can measure continuity between those two outer levers and both connections of the connector, even when the fuse I've here is not placed in this position here. So I don't understand. This is a very tricky business. I now reinstalled the fuse, the lower one. Look, it's working. Upper one, still not working. Thought to be smart, just swap both lamp connections, pin 1 and pin 3, but nothing happens when I switch it on. I always try to put the mains connector in here, so I'm sure I'm disconnected from the mains. Be sure that the connector is the right connector. But that's one of the security safe items, measurements, what the fuck. But for today, we will stop investigating. Tomorrow there may be another day. Well, the fact that the lamp was not burning was because I had switched two wires. Now I have to disconnect them both. The left wire with the black marking, I measure between that and the right side of the mains connector. It says 40 ohms because that is the resistance I measured from the big light. It's about 40 ohms. So the right connection of the mains is connected to the blue wire, and that blue wire is here, and it goes to the upper lamp and it returns as a brown wire, which I'm measuring now. This blue wire from the mains, this right connection to the mains, also goes with this small white wire to the lower lamp. So try again. The right one connection goes to both of the lamps, and the return wire of the great lamp goes to the left connection. The return wire of the small lamp is going to the middle connection, and the left side of the mains goes to the right side of this connector. That's how it is. Again, the left connection goes to the non-colored, this is the colored one, but this is the non-colored one connection that goes to the right of the 3 screws, and it measures 0 ohms. So I'm curious what happens if I swap the left and the middle connection, the return from the both lamps. What will happen? I first retaped the PCB between the two standards to be sure that I do not take any risk with the mains voltage. Now we will switch it on. Nothing happens. The lower lamp is connected to the output of the higher lamp. So this one, I put it on. Nothing happens. The lamp is not lit up. For sure I will put the other on. Nothing happens. I also added the return of the big lamp, the top lamp, to the lower controller. Put my power on. Carefully switch it on. And look. It's lighting up. So the lamps are okay, but it's only still the upper driver that does not work well somehow. I always put my main connector back here, so I'm sure when I'm working on it, it is not connected to the mains. I also did a remeasurement on the replacement device, and it behaves exactly the same as the one I removed. It's not 0.4 but 0.5 ohm. Whatever, if I switch those two around, doesn't matter, and for the rest it does not measure anything. So I don't think that device was defective. There must be something else what's wrong. I inspected this PCB. I could not see any regular things. Then I asked ChatGPT for some information or tips, but it didn't really help. I searched YouTube, but that didn't give me any solutions. Not completely true. ChatGPT advises the Hope Star LD 901. So I found it on different sites. I decided to order it from AliExpress. So for now, I just connected all three wires together, so without a dimmer, and we will put the light on, and you can see both the big lamp and the small lamp both light up. So we will wait until the AliExpress order has arrived, and then we will finalize this lamp. Thanks for watching.